2017 Eco-Mobility Festival started yesterday in Kaoshiung. I spoke to Jason Lin, a local resident, about his part in it. Thank you for coming on Taiwan Talk. How are you doing?
Good. How are you, Alex?
Good, thank you. So, let's start. Why were you selected as one of the residents that eClay will follow to document the festival?
For the eco-transportation, it's encouraged to use more public transport and electricity vehicles, bicycles, even walk to improve the community environments. I have been selected by eClay because we have sent acknowledge and ideas to change Hamaxing. Hamaxing became eco-friendly city. I think that's the reason they chose me.
Why do you think you will be a good representative for the neighborhood?
Well, I get along with all my neighborhoods, and I'm surely I can convince some of them to make some changes to relate to eco-mobility. After all, we all have the same ideals that hope Hamaxing will be better and better.
Okay. How long have you lived in the Hamaxing neighborhood?
Okay. I was actually born in Hamaxing, but I went to Canada for study for a couple of years, and after I graduated, I worked there for a couple of years more. Eventually, I moved back around 10 years ago. So I would say in total, I live in Hamaxing close to 30-ish.
Okay, so you have a really intimate knowledge or understanding of Hamaxing. What type of neighborhood is Hamaxing?
During the Japanese era, Hamaxing was the hub of land and sea transport at the time. After Taiwan rejuvenation period, Hamaxing has become the first fishery town of southern Taiwan. Hamaxing is a rich historical and then cultural community. Not only retain many of the ancient buildings of Japanese era, but also very beautiful natural mountain and sea view. In recent years, the progress development of the period 2 is added to culturally atmosphere. Also, Hamaxing community has a lot of personal style of restaurants, cafes, souvenir shop, ice cream shop, bicycle shop, and etc. We are welcome to everyone to come to Hamaxing and enjoy a beautiful walk trip.
Excellent. So what has the pollution been like or traffic congestion been like in Hamaxing historically?
About the question, when I was young, I remember there was the only public transportation in Hamaxing was only buses, and therefore it's because of fewer routes and shift, and there's not much parking space in the community here. So most of the residents of Hamaxing will almost have motorbike for each household, which leads to a small community is always filled up with exhaust emissions from exhaust pipe.
How has the public transportation developed in and around the neighborhood since your time living there?
Since that time living here, nowadays the public transportation in Hamaxing, including buses, MRT, light rail, providing variety of options and with a higher frequency services. Also, there are some city bike station available in the community as well for people who love to cycling and sightseeing in Hamaxing.
So how do you get around on the day-to-day? Do you usually take public transportation or do you drive around on a scooter?
A little bit of both. If I need to carry something heavier, I'll go with my scooters. Otherwise, I'll just walk in the neighborhood. Okay, I'm very looking forward for this Eco-Mobility World Festival. All along, I think eco-environment is very important, especially for Kaoshiung, because the most thing I was worried because the poor air quality in Kaoshiung due to the huge volume of motorbike on the street and lack of interest for local people taking public transportation. This event has been chosen in my hometown, Hamaxing, which I am proud of this activity, so that we can start from our own and then affect others together to green our living environment. This is a very meaningful activity to me.
So what's the general sentiment around the neighborhood, like your neighbors? Are they looking forward to the festival as well? Is there like a sense of excitement within the community?
Well, they're actually looking forward as well because they want to see if the change is good or not, or affect their life or not.
What are some of the ways the neighborhood is preparing for the upcoming festival and the expected influx of tourists and increased foot traffic?
Mm-hmm. As for the resident, because the government has issued parking permit for residency in the neighborhood, it's also clear that will be a traffic control during these months. And I think the resident will be able to cooperate with the government for this eco-mobility World Face event. As for the business owners, they are actually increasing their stocks, inventories. Some of them even increase their own staff to get ready for this festival. We are expecting more than 50 countries, 29 mayors from different cities, and more than 1,000 guests coming around the world participate for this Eco-Mobility World Festival. I'm sure it will bring a lot of business for local shops.
How has eClay, the government, or any other organization provided residents in the neighborhood any information or assistance to help make the festival and transition to gas-free transport options more smoothly?
The government and the Transportation Bureau offers a lot of different variety transportations for residents to use during this event, such as inside the eco demonstration areas. All the residents will receive a Hamaxing iPass. For what it is the people who has a Hamaxing iPass can take bus, MRT, light rail, ferry for free during this Eco Mobility World Festival event, and also provide the shuttle bus, offer free rides for all the passengers to general bus stations. Also, there are actually 400 bicycles and 60 electricity motorbikes available in the community, supply for residents free of charge. I do believe with all the resources government put into Hamaxing will make this festival more effective and successful.
All right, cool. All right, thanks, Jason. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
As Hamaxing residents, I welcome you, all the radio listeners, coming to Hamaxing to celebrate this meaningful Eco-Mobility World Festival in October 2017. With all your support, we surely will make the Kaoshiung greener and better.
All right, thank you, Jason.
All right, thanks, Alex.
Thanks for listening to our conversation. That's it for this week's Taiwan Talk. I'm Alex Lewis.